Imagine this. You've lived in the UK for nearly 30 years. You're married to a British man. You've raised your children here, cared for your sick husband, and even left the country at times, not for leisure, but to take care of dying parents overseas. Then one day, during a routine immigration check-in, you're detained without warning. No chance to say goodbye. No lawyer. No justice. You're put in handcuffs, escorted like a criminal, and deported on a Sunday flight, with just £12 in your pocket. You can only stay outside the UK for up to 2 years. Stay away longer, and you could lose your permanent residency status completely. Many don't know this until it's too late. Remember, only British citizens can live abroad indefinitely without risking their status. Don't make a mistake that could cost you your future in the UK. That's exactly what happened to Irene Clennell, and her story exposes one of the most shocking failures of the UK's immigration system. Born in Singapore, Irene moved to the UK in 1988. She met and married her British husband, John Clennell, in 1990. They settled in County Durham, raised 2 sons, and lived a modest, peaceful life. She became part of the local community and held indefinite leave to remain, ILR, a legal status that gave her the right to live in the UK permanently. But what many don't realize is that ILR has a hidden trap. If you leave the UK for more than 2 years, it lapses automatically. Irene didn't leave the country for holidays or convenience. She left because she had to. Her mother was terminally ill, and later her father fell seriously sick. Out of love and duty, she returned to Singapore to care for them. And when her British husband, John, began struggling with major health problems, Irene returned to the UK to look after him. But by that point, her ILR had already expired due to the extended absences. Between 2003 and 2005, Irene fought to regain her residency. She applied multiple times. All were denied. Still, she stayed strong. In 2013, she legally re-entered the UK on a visitor visa and immediately took up the role of caregiver for her ailing husband. She applied for a spousal visa, believing her decades of lawful residence and her marriage to a British citizen would protect her. But then came another blow. The UK Home Office denied her spousal visa because they didn't meet the strict £18,600 income threshold as of that year. Her husband, ill and unable to work, didn't earn enough. Irene, who couldn't legally work on her visa and was acting as his full-time carer, had no income either. Despite having never claimed public benefits, despite her long marriage, despite her deep roots in the UK, Irene was now classified as an overstayer. And then came the darkest day. On January 19, 2017, Irene attended what she thought was a routine immigration reporting appointment. She had done it many times before. But this time, something was different. She was detained on the spot without warning and taken to Dungavel Immigration Removal Centre in Scotland. She wasn't allowed to go home. She wasn't allowed to pack. She wasn't even allowed to say goodbye to her husband or sons. Then, without prior notice, she was put on a flight to Singapore on a Sunday. She was restrained, escorted by officers, and treated like a dangerous criminal. When she landed, she had no home, no money, and only £12 in cash. A woman who had lived in Britain for 29 years was discarded like an overstayed tourist. But this wasn't the end. Her story went viral. Major media outlets, The Guardian, BBC, ITV, and Channel 4, covered the shocking details. Politicians from across parties condemned the deportation. Diane Abbott, Tim Farron, and others called it a disgrace. A YouGov poll revealed that 63% of the British public disagreed with Irene's removal. People were furious. This wasn't just about one woman. It was about a system that punishes love, loyalty, and caregiving. Her sister-in-law, Irene Clennell, launched a GoFundMe campaign to support Irene's legal battle. The British public responded quickly, donating over £54,000 to help fight for her return. With the support of immigration lawyers, human rights advocates, and tens of thousands of concerned citizens, Irene took her case to the courts. Her legal team argued that her deportation violated Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights, the right to family life. They showed how Irene had been treated unfairly, how her decades of lawful presence had been ignored, and how the Home Office failed to apply compassion or discretion. After 6 months of legal struggle, endless paperwork, and mounting public pressure, the Home Office relented. On August 30th, 2017, Irene Clennell was granted a new spousal visa and allowed to return to the UK. When she arrived back at Newcastle Airport, she was greeted with tears, hugs, and a wave of relief. The same government that had deported her was now forced to bring her home. But the scars remained. Her story has since become a powerful example of how the UK's hostile immigration environment can tear families apart. It raises important questions. Should a permanent resident lose everything for doing the right thing, caring for dying parents abroad? Should a British citizen's spouse be denied a visa simply because illness prevents them from earning enough money? And most importantly, should any human being be deported without notice, without dignity, and without justice? Irene's case is a warning to thousands of immigrants and families living in the UK. It shows how little it takes to fall through the cracks, and how ruthless the system can be, even toward those who've played by the rules. But it also shows the power of legal advocacy, public support, and community voice. Because when people speak out, change can happen. So what do you think? Was Irene's deportation justified? Do you believe immigration rules should show more compassion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If this story moved you, please like the video, share it to raise awareness, and subscribe to our channel for more real-life immigration stories and updates that matter. Thank you for watching.